Yeah.
Keep us on stage. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Nice little group here. We got a nice big group. We're Issues, obviously. Does anybody have any questions before we sing for y'all? Before we do karaoke for y'all? Hey.
Hey guys, how is it arranging this album, specifically for choosing all those songs? Like, when you get to the core, arranging process, what kind of stuff is it?
Like, mostly like, that's funny. So you're talking about like picking the songs or like
Well, I would
writing
say like
them?
picking the songs and then like arranging them into how you want things to progress, you know what I'm saying? Because like
Right.
it can be complicated, you know, some parts of it.
Yeah, we literally had a spreadsheet. Like it was like color coded and complicated because we wrote like almost 50 songs. I think we counted it was like 48, something like that, which is way more than we've ever written for another album. And what it kind of came down to is like obviously first priority was like which songs are the best, and then second was which songs fit like the overall theme and like the vibe the most. Because there were a couple songs that we were split on that just didn't like have the same sauce. Like they might have had sauce, but it wasn't
There's something off.
right. It was like not the same sauce. You know, didn't like make a cohesive statement. It would have been like too much of an outlier, which is odd because obviously Flex is deliberately supposed to be whatever. But the idea was that like we had a cohesive statement because people are it's a very singles driven market, obviously. So when you put out an album, you gotta beat it, I think. So that was the biggest deal. Did I answer your question?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
That's this guy.
Like,
It was, yeah. It was like
just
a
for fun.
four pages too, because we kept changing. It was like a act of elimination. So it's fun. Next question. Yes.
First of all, the album is fucking unreal.
Thank you.
Masterpiece, guys. Absolutely killed it. As far as the writing process, and how you guys track vocals and write them, do you write everything instrumental first and then set aside time to write vocals and do everything at once, or is it a mixed process between how you guys track certain things?
There's several different processes. I mean, Issues. We've never really followed like a set like curriculum, if you will, to our music, but.
Oh, okay.
No respect. Yeah, so you know, we it's always different. But on this album, it was a lot more. Most of the songs that made the record was a lot more of kind of writing top lines, like writing vocals over like beats or like chord progressions or you know whatever first, and then handing them over to like AJ or Sky to like riff and turn into like an Issue song, like a punk post pop our own songs. And we've done that a lot in the past. You know, songs like "Mad at Myself" or "Never Lose Your Flames" or you know whatever, like songs like that.
We started to realize that everybody's favorites were written like that, so we're like, let's do more of that.
So were your vocal melodies essentially the first fundamental part of the
Yes, on most of this record, yes. But then you have a song like a very unique situation. We have a song like "Tapping Out," where AJ had that song instrumentally fully written, and I already had that song vocally fully written. And when we were like dissecting the song and how we're gonna do it and stuff, we just discovered that they went perfectly together. Like every section like fit perfectly, like pre-chorus, chorus. It was like, well, this works. You know, that same thing happened with Coma actually. You know, where I wrote a song to a beat, and they kind of fucked around with the song, and it just fit. Yeah.
Happy accident.
Yeah, it's like a discovery. So yeah, it just depends.
Yeah, we try not to stick to a formula, really, because like, but this record is definitely more vocal driven, which is good, because we kind of figured as long as the vocals don't suck, then, you know, as long as your core song is good, right, you can do some weird shit with the instrumentals, which we obviously love to do, and, you know, you can kind of sell it more, because like, you can have the most progressive, cool instrumental track, but if the vocals aren't good, it kind of doesn't really matter, at least with our band, right? So that was kind of what changed the most about this writing process, I think.
It's about like making like a catchy but also relatable, like honest lyrics and stuff. The producer like kind of brought that out in us because he was like, you guys need more like relatable songs. It's like once you write the song and it's like catchy and it's also like heartfelt. You can make it metal, you can make it a country song, you can make it, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you're gonna, stylistically, we are like the genre. We're like our own genre. Like, we create how we want to create.
We're kind of like our own.
But as long as the songs are good. Yes. 2 more questions. Yes.
Quick question. How do you guys feel about the dynamic now that you guys went from being a 6-piece band to like a 4-piece band in terms of writing style? And like, how do you feel about it?
So we still wrote with Ty.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
So like what, 8 or 9 songs from this record were written with?
I think
Ty?
6 actually.
6? Okay. But yeah, so Ty's still part of the process. Obviously, he's not in the band. He doesn't tour with us anymore. I really miss Ty a lot. As far as Michael not being in the band anymore, Headspace was really difficult for us because a lot of that writing process felt forced at times. So Without You is a song on the new record. That song has been written, which I actually pulled up last night for Chris Miller.
Oh, you pull up the original?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just like my little drums over like the guitar riff. Anyway, that song was supposed to be on Headspace, but it obviously presented the problem. And then there was internal dynamics going on that were already kind of like, this isn't working. And that one song was supposed to be on Headspace. Obviously with Michael, it didn't really make a lot of sense, right? We would have really had to we would have had to change that song into something that it honestly just wasn't.
Or have him sit out, which is kind of unfair if somebody's here.
Yeah, and so that kind of, you know, that was 4 or 5 years ago now. And so like just one thing kind of led to another, but.
Well, how do you feel taking on the extra backups now?
Me?
Yeah.
It's fucking hard. I like screaming. Thank you. I like really enjoy screaming, so I'm not bummed about it.
I hate screaming.
If you're asking how we feel as a 4-piece, I think it took some adjustments, but this is the most fluid, I think. Even though as a live show, like everyone, I don't know, pulls a lot of weight.
Yeah, I think as fans too, we all feel like you guys are awesome musicians individually. So just as a package deal, you can definitely see like how strong you guys are.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the chemistry works better this way. Obviously, still have our differences. Like, we're all different people. We've grown up. You know, we've grown into different men. You know, different tastes and personalities. But like together, as a unit, like there's just a lot more chemistry that you can clearly see on stage, and definitely see in the studio because we're all writers and we really like work well together.
Yeah,
and
you can definitely
result.
hear it from everybody.
Yes. Last question. Yes.
It's song specific actually.
Cool.
For Rain, a lot of it, like I actually was starting with the band, realized like it has like maybe possibly some mental health references there, like trying to have a good time. Like I can't focus on what's happening right now.
Right. Oh, is that the question?
Like,
Like you want to know like kind of the reference?
where like
It's so cool that you say that because I start to realize that a lot of the lyrics, and even some of them, like some people find deeper meaning to even some of the music videos, different from the songs, and even songs with like that are kind of just lighthearted, feel-good songs. People can really interpret them in their own way. That was really the whole theme of the whole record is to interpret the whole record your own way, and for the record to be like your own form of like, you know, therapeutic relief or whatever. That song really was kind of about like just dating somebody who sucks. The song, yeah, but it's cool. But it's cool that you felt it in a way that like relates to mental health and stuff, or that's like self-reflective rather than about somebody else. The way I wrote it was just like when you're dating somebody, not somebody who has mental health, but just somebody who's just a negative ass person. You know, somebody who complains a lot. It's like the whole purpose of the song is like being with somebody who's like constantly like cup half empty rather than cup half full. You know what I'm saying? Like you always rain on my fucking parade. Do you ever dated somebody that like you like go to a movie and be really excited and then they just complain about the movie and you're just like, God, I should have just went with my best friend instead. You know what I mean? So it's like something like that. But it's cool that like, you know, you could almost take it as more of a like, self-reflective song or whatever. That happens a lot on our record, and I see a lot of people finding different meanings in a lot of different songs, or finding maybe just one lyric that you totally connect with or it influences you in a song that might not even be about that, So yeah, that's the purpose of like Beautiful Oblivion, is finding your own like escape, your own oblivion, your own digital like what's it called, liberation, I guess, for whatever you're going through. And without further ado, we are going to play Beautiful Oblivion Acoustic for you guys.
Take my little rings off, so I'm not clickety clacking.
AJ,
I like the clickety.
just double check it. Hey.
I like the clacks.
Jazz City.
Skinny tie fur jacket, Jazz City.
AJ.
Back there.
Yeah. What? I don't believe in my D string. Can you give me your D string?
I don't believe in my D string.
Do it.
It's not about the D strings, guys. It's about how you play it.
Well, I'd rather play it.
You ever heard that one before? Just made it up. Here goes our full course special. These are a couple songs we're not playing tonight. We got the OGs in the room. Feel free to sing along. Just don't sing louder than me. What is a man who lays a hand on his lover and calls it tough love? What is a man who can't take a stand for his daughter and calls it tough love? Tough love, man enough to see, man enough to see. The rate of goddamn man, take me back to a day before I was hostile and learned to hate you. And I swear that it's just like fate. When I have it, I will be different, but I'm just a liar. strings, ain't you?
Yeah.
This guitar is.
I wasn't too.
Is it dead? Yeah, strings. Shoot, we need to restring. The cold just fucked us up.
Anybody know anybody else?
You have smoke on the water?
Hey, yeah, we just, oh wait, give me your beat. Play that first chord.
We actually just recorded this last night in Brooklyn. A acoustic version of Tapping Out that we're gonna hopefully put out after this tour. So whenever that gets mixed, but are we there?
We're there.
It's fine. I'll sound flat.
There.
I'll take
Just
one.
blame it on Tyler. Yeah.
I'll take one for the team. All this bullshit got me in the headlock, blaming the names that you called me, and when you running sorry that you had a long day back above me. You get the spit all up in my face, about to say some shit that we just can't erase. My heart is moving at a fast pace. Hey, yeah. Got the gloves up, I'm against the ropes. I wanna break it up, but then I choke. Ooh, yeah. Someone call a referee. Take the pressure off of me. Now you're popping off with the low blows. Hey. So I'm tapping out now. Tapping out now. Suffocating, can I get out? All this drama bringing me down. So I'm tapping out now. Tapping out now. When it's getting heavy, ooh. Trying to make it one last round. Tapping out now. I thought we had a deal, we would start over. Put it all in the past, get the older. You're taking all the shots at me and warned ya. I'm tired of over my shoulder. Got the gloves up, I'm against the ropes. I wanna break it up, but then I choke. Ooh, yeah. Someone call a referee. Any pressure off of me. Now you're popping off with the low blows. Hey. So I'm tapping out now. Tapping out now. Suffocating, can I get out? All this drama bringing me down. So I'm tapping out now. Tapping out now. Weight is getting heavy, ooh. Trying to make it one last round. Tapping out now. I trusted you. If only I could say, wishing for your love was so foolish of me. I said I trusted you. If only I could say, wishing for your love was so foolish of me. I said I trusted you. If only I could say, wishing for your love was so foolish of me. I said I trusted you. If only I could say, wishing for your love was so foolish of me. So I'm tapping out now. Tapping out now, suffocating, can I get out? All this drama bringing me down. So I'm tapping out now, tapping out now. Weight is getting heavy, ooh. Trying to make it one last round. I'm tapping out now. We're out. It's time to have
I
AB
mean,
work
you
on
were
this.
out.
Oh, rap.
That's okay. Yeah, so if everybody wants to pull out their raffle ticket, we are raffling for a signed tour shirt.